We're doing ABCs today. ABC is probably one of my favorite decks that I've played, like, of all time. I played it a lot at locals before I kind of went to Master Duel from the TCG, but I really like the deck. It is mildly competitive in its current state on Master Duel. I did get some wins in Diamond with it, and this is for the new ban list as well. All the replays were recorded after the new ban list. So this is a pretty decent deck. It's a lot of fun. I don't think it's going to be like tier 1 or tier 2, but like a good solid tier 2.5 or tier 3. It is very helmet, and you can run pretty much whatever hand traps you want with it. So let's get into it. So for my hand traps, I'm running 2 Maxi and 3 Ash Blossom. You could also run Gamma if you wanted to. I just don't want to brick the driver personally. And then next we have 2 Silver Gadget and 3 Gold Gadget. And I personally like this ratio. So Silver Gadget is when it's normal or special summon, you can special summon one level 4 machine monster from your hand. Gold Gadget also has that effect. And then the Silver Gadget effect is when it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one level 4 Gadget monster from your deck, except Silver Gadget. So Gold Gadget has that same effect, except it's except Gold Gadget. So silver can get you gold, gold can get you silver. Pretty decent effect. I like the float effect. I like the special summon effect. Both of those can get you some pretty good link plays. Link summoning is definitely this deck's best friend. Uh, and that brings us to our Union Monster lineup, which is A, B, and C. So 3A, I think A is probably one of the better ones. Once per turn, you can either target one light machine monster you control, equip it to this card, or unequip this card and special summon it. A monster equipped by this card is unaffected by your opponent's monster effects except its own. Also, the equipped monster would, if the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy this card instead. All of the Union monsters have that effect, where if the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy this card instead. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, destroy a battle card effect. Um, so if this card's sent from the field to the graveyard, and that includes if you link summon with it, you can add one other Union monster from your graveyard to your hand. So you kind of do some fun creative loops with that. Next we have B. So B is more or less the same thing. You can equip it or you can unequip it to special. And a monster equipped with this is unaffected by your opponent's spell effects. So if you're playing against like Sky Strikers, and you don't want your guys to have Sky Striker effects harm them in any way, Buster Drake is your best friend. If he's sent from the field to the graveyard, including if you link summon with him, you can add a Union monster from your deck to your hand. So linking and getting a search is pretty awesome. And then we have C, Crush Wyvern. C also has the equip effect and also has the protection effect for destruction. But the great part about C is a monster equipped with this card is unaffected by your opponent's trap effects. That's the reason why we run 2C, is because the trap protection is not that great, and his effect is if he's sent from field to grave, you can special summon a Union monster from your hand. That effect is definitely good, but I do find myself using A and B more, so I typically do 3A, 3B, 2C. And then next we have 3 Cyber Dragon and 2 Galaxy Soldier. You're probably saying, well, why are you running Cyber Dragon in this deck? Well, Cyber Dragon is kind of convenient, honestly. The fact that you can special summon out Cyber Dragon, and then if your opponent has any machines, go into Fortress Dragon, or you could also go into, what's the other one? The other good one. You could also go into Mega Fleet, and if you wanted to run Mega Fleet, your extra deck, you would probably cut. I'd say you probably cut the Gear Giant or the Divine Arsenal, but right now, not a lot of stuff is being played in the extra deck, like extra monster zone. But you could go into Mega Fleet if the extra monster zone ever becomes meta relevant again. But more so, most of the time, we'll just go into Nova and then go into Infinity. And the great part about doing Nova Infinity is your opponent will typically burn up cards or resources to try to get rid of the Infinity, or they might kaiju the Infinity. which is better than our Buster Dragon getting targeted. So 3 Cyber Dragon, 3 Galaxy Soldier, sorry, 2 Galaxy Soldier, 3 was Bricky. But yeah, sending one other light monster from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card in defense. When special summon, you can add a Galaxy monster. You can only use this effect to Galaxy Soldier once per turn. So you can special Galaxy Soldier and do another Galaxy Soldier. I typically will do stuff with the pieces to basically, like, I'll do stuff with A, like I'll link with A and I'll add a card back to my hand, and I can discard the card I added to summon Galaxy Soldier, so I don't -1 myself a lot. But that's just fun stuff you can do with that. And then we have the 1 Nibiru. Nibiru is just a good card right now. Sometimes your opponent makes boards that are really hard to out. The 1 Regeki and the 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. I like them more than Lightning Storm because we are running 3 field spells. So we typically do have a face-up card on the board. 1 Monster Reborn, because bringing back our Buster Dragon is pretty awesome. 1 Terraforming. 1 Cyber Emergency. And you could swap the Cyber Emergency out for more hand traps if you wanted. Like, you really don't need to run this card if you don't want to. I am personally, because I like it. 3 Union Hangar. This card's amazing. You definitely want 3 and Terraforming to find it. This is like the centerpiece of the deck. When it's activated, you get to add a light machine monster from your deck to your hand, so it's already replacing a card in your hand for hand advantage. So you're not negging when you play this. And a lot of time people will like try to Ghost Ogre or stop this card, which wasting a resource on that, they might as well. So once per turn, when this card's activated, you can add 1 light machine union monster from your deck to your hand, and then once per turn, if a light machine union monster is normal or special summon, so if you unequip one of the pieces, you can resolve this effect. Except during the damage step, you can target one of those monsters and equip an appropriate light machine union monster with a different name from your deck to that monster, but the union monster you equipped cannot be special summoned this turn. You can only activate 1 Union Hanger per turn. So this is an amazing effect, and this effect is amazing because let's say I have this, I add a card, I play one of the gadgets, and I search for, I'm just going to say B, or let's say I search for C because I have another one of these guys in my hand. So I'll go ahead and search for C, play my gadget, special summon out the Wyvern, use those two to link into something. Most of the time it's generic 2 machines, will go Platinum Gadget, and then C will proc, and I'll be able to special summon something else out, and I'll be able to resolve the Union Hanger effect, either when I special summon C or when I special summon something else out to get the missing piece, which would be A. There's a bunch of other combos you can do, but getting to the ABC is pretty easy. And if for whatever reason you can't, we'll talk about unauthorized reactivation in a bit, which will get you to the ABC Buster Dragon. So it's very easy to summon the Drake. And then next we have 2 Called by the Grave. We do not want our opponent to stop us from doing our adding shenanigans. So Called by the Grave is kind of necessary to stop the hand traps. We have the 1 Crossout Designator afterwards because Maxi and Ash are played very heavily. There was one really funny point where I actually used Crossout Designator to stop my opponent's Regeki. I was like, ooh, piece of candy. Next we have 3 Unauthorized Reactivation. This card's not super great, but it is good if you brick. So target 1 machine monster you control, equip 1 appropriate machine union monster from your deck or hand to that monster, but the union monster you equip cannot be special summoned this turn. You can only activate 1 authorized reactivation per turn. So if you need that last piece, because you can banish the pieces when they're equipped from the field to special summon Buster Dragon, if you need that last piece, unauthorized reactivation will get you there. And so next we have 2 Infinite Impermanence, and that pretty much rounds out the main deck. There's a lot of different variants you can play in the main deck. I personally right now I'm playing the Cyber Dragon one because I don't want to craft the gems for the Machina one. But there is a Machina variant for this deck that's basically just making it more of a beat stick deck. Um, and if you do want to spend the gems on that, Machina Fortress is surprisingly decent in this deck. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the main deck. Let's get to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we have one Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon. If we play against any sort of machine-centric deck, being able to contact our opponent's stuff is really nice. You can even contact the Sky Striker links, which is very funny when it happens, but it will happen. We have two ABC Dragon Buster. This is just a great card. So it's ASL Core, B Buster Drake, C Crush Wyvern, and it must first be special summoned from your extra deck by banishing the above cards you control and or from your graveyard. You do not use polymerization. Once per turn, and this is a quick effect, you can do this during your opponent's turn. You can discard a card, target a card on the field, and banish it. And then during your opponent's turn, you contribute this card, target 3 of your banished light machine union monsters with different names, and then special summon them. So why would you want to get rid of your Buster Dragon on the field? Well, you can always Monster Reborn it for 1, and for 2, during your opponent's in phase, if you know you're going to be able to have a lot of advantage, you can tag out, get the pieces, link with the pieces to get the piece effects, or just to get more Link Monster material to use Nightmare Phoenix, Cerberus, or Unicorn. These are really live in this deck. Makes me miss Goblin. But that's one of the reasons you could tag out. So it's just a useful card in general. Or let's say you're going to go into Geargian X and then you're going to go into Zeus because you need to board wipe. You could even do that because you have the two pieces. And then after you board wipe, to add insult to injury, you could summon the Dragon Buster. So there's just a lot of different things you can do with that tag out effect that make it decent. Next, we have the one Geargian X. You're not going to use him very much. He's in there kind of like as a last resort if you really desperately need a piece. Once per turn, you can detach a material from this card, add 1 level 4 or lower machine monster from your deck graveyard to your hand. If it leaves the field, you can target 1 level 3 or lower Geargian monster in graveyard, special summon that target. You won't use that effect. And then next we have 1 Nova and 1 Infinity. And then we have 1 Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, Sky Thunder. And then we have 1 Nightmare Cerberus, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Cyber Dragon Seer. So this card I've actually used a couple of times. It's any 2 machine monsters, including a Cyber Dragon. Its name becomes Cyber Dragon while in the field in the graveyard. During each battle phase, if it's not declared an attack, quick effect, you can target a machine monster you control with 2,100 or more attack for the rest of the turn. That monster gains 2,100 attack and defense, and neither player takes any battle damage from attacks involving this monster. So you won't take any damage from Seeger, but you could pump up. Could you pump up Buster Dragon actually with 2,100 more attack? Yeah, you could pump up Buster Dragon. Most of the time, I just pump up Seeger and beat over something, but you can make that Buster Dragon have a lot of attack, and that would be a 5,100 beat stick. And you can only use this effect to Cyber Dragon Seer once per turn. And then we have Platinum Gadget. This card is super useful. Kind of want to run another one. Can't be used as link material to turn its link summoned. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower machine monster from your hand to a zone this card points to. Fantastic extender effect. If this card is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 level 4 gadget monster from your deck, which is also decent. You can only use each effect of Platinum Gadget once per turn. Then we have the 1 LP Masquerena, the 1 Nightmare Unicorn, the 1 Apollos above the Goddess, and the 1 Underworld Goddess. And that's going to go ahead and round out our deck profile. I'm going to go ahead and get into a couple of replays. Season just reset, so I'm on plat, but we're going to fix that soon. I played this right before the new season with the new list in Diamond, and I was actually doing pretty good with it. But these are some of the better replays I got that show like combos. So play the Hangar, get the B, play the Gadget, play the B, Hangar proc, play the C, play the activation. Bam, there you go. Platinum Gadget coming on out. Don't know why I decided to make him, but I did. Oh, that's why I made him. Summon the C, discard the B. Don't know why I decided to get the second Galaxy Soldier. If I had played that better here, I could have actually done the double Galaxy Soldier into the Nova, into the Infinity. But my opponent's playing some weird burn deck, so it doesn't matter. They're basically just going to be doo-dooed on anyway. More advantage from the Union Hangar. Even more advantage from the Union Hangar. We're going to get burnt up 2400. And now we're going to start doing shenanigans. Here's Phoenix. Phoenix effect. Destroy the back row, get that C back, make the unicorn. Now it's co-linked, so I'll get to draw a card. Pretty good. And then we're going to go ahead and go into Apollosa. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and go into our Buster Drake. And that's just game right there. Like, that was a very fluid, very quick combo. And one of the reasons I like ABC is it's just a good deck if you have a problem to solve. The things that it does well, it does well. The things that it does bad, it doesn't do very well. But it's still a ton of fun to play. And I'm very happy that Buster Drake is at 2 in Master Duel, because this brings back a lot of memories and I really enjoyed the deck. We open the Union Hangar Dream again. You will not do that every time. You will just brick pieces in your hand sometime and just be like, well, pepperoni. I really should have attached the C. That's okay. So, more back row, and I'm just gonna be like, well, what is this? And my answer is, oh, this is Eldritch. Great. And they're not gonna let me Platinum Gadget, and I'm just like, okay, bro. I heard you like monster effects, dude. I link with all your shit. Get the Underworld Goddess. You can go Zen match me if you want. Everything's gonna be light. It don't matter. But yeah, that's it. Like it's a fun deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.